Okay, so in the workshop tour of how to build apps, workflows, and agents, there's a lot of similarity between apps and workflows. Agents are kind of the outlier in the workshop. They can probably be the most powerful of the three different kinds of templates, but they are built a bit differently. So you need to get into a slightly different headspace, but there are some similarities which we'll look at. You can look at agents that have been built in the community just by looking at view all and then filter by type and select agent. And you can see there are a lot here that have been built and published to the community. They might not all work for you exactly just because they haven't been built specifically with your company in mind, but they can be a good template, what they're called. They're templates for you to use and then update based on your own company data. So if we build one from scratch though, you're still going to start over by clicking on new and then agent. And that takes you right to this page. If you're ever interacting with an agent, you can do that from edit view, which is this, or you can chat with them over in the chat by selecting them kind of like you would an LLM. The first thing you want to do on this page though, is give your agent a name. This is the HelpBot 3000. Description is to show Hatz users how to build agents. Category, this helps if you're going to publish it to the community especially. So I'm just going to leave this blank for now. Instructions, system prompt. This is something that is very similar to how you would prompt a workflow. This is where you're going to put that persona, the tone, the role, the output format that you want. You're going to tell the agent how to behave over here. And we'll come back to this in a second. Just want to continue down the list. You're going to choose an AI model. I'm going to use Gemini 3 Pro Preview. You can upload an image if you want to do that, just to give it a little bit more personality. And then this is the same thing with the chat, right? You can upload files or give it access to different files in your OneDrive. If you want it to reference those as you're chatting with it, they'll just kind of live in the background. And when the AI needs to reference those files, it will do so. So you don't need to keep, just like you would in the chat, you don't need to keep pointing it at something. It will just remember, oh, it has access to these files and it can go and reference those. And then finally down here, we have tools. A very common one for these agents is something like Firecrawl for web search, web scraping, Outlook, Salesforce. Another really common one is OneDrive and SharePoint. You can connect to any of these that you want and tell it how to use them. So if you have some of these selected, we're actually, for the sake of this one, we're going to select the Hatz Workshop Assistant, because the Hatz Workshop Assistant knows about agents. So in the system prompt, I'm going to say, we'll have a whole section in Quick AI Skills about system prompts. But for right now, this is going to suffice just to show you kind of the lay of the land. Just put in, your job is to help people build a good quality Hatz agent in the Hatz AI platform by using what you know about Hatz and system prompts to take the user's input and turn it into a great agent. So we'll show you how to use this in just a second, but we're going to create the agent. And then just like with apps and with workflows, that then unblocks this share button where you can share it out to anyone in your organization or the community. So this has been created. I'm going to go over to the chat. And now you'll see I have it right here. These are my most recent agents that I created. So I'm going to choose this one. And then I'll say, I need an agent that searches the web for new restaurants in my area and tells me what their menus are. So we'll send that off. Now, that's all I told it. It has that system prompt running behind the scenes, and it has the Hatz Workshop Assistant to know how to use Hatz. So it's using those as the basis for how to create new tools in Hatz. I recommend playing around with this a lot more just to get a feel for how this system works and how these agents can work. But these agents can be incredibly powerful tools to share knowledge and share access to different AI skills across your team. All right, so it created the new restaurant hunter agent. I love that. And we're going to open this up. You can see that when you leave the system prompt up to Hatz to create, it will create a really robust and thorough system prompt. I recommend doing that. You can learn how to write good system prompts yourself, but Hatz can do a pretty good job for you. So Google search and Tably, amazing. I might also, just because I kind of know what I want out of this, I would also enable Google Maps to give it another tool that it can use, but I wasn't super specific about that in my prompt. So there we go.